Happy May, everybody. Today I'm just going to give you a quick update. I brought you the last video and I talked a little bit about the Solidoodle 3 that I've been rebuilding that we've used to make all the housings for our USB chargers up till now. And I was going to put a new hot end on it because it went bad. Things have gotten a lot more complicated. Making the parts without a 3D printer turned out to be a lot more effort than I ended up wanting to go through. So last week I bit the bullet and I threw down cash and, threw down a credit card and bought a Lulzbot Mini. They make two models, the Taz 6 they're up to, and the Mini. And the Taz 6 is pretty big. The parts we're making on it are small. They're an inch by an inch basically. And this has a roughly 6 by 6 by 6 inch by 6 inch build plate and 6 inch tall build volume. The Solidoodle has 8 by 8 by 8, and I've never actually utilized all that space. So haven't actually used it much. I played around a little bit last week. I gotta say, I ordered this refurbished on a website called ITWorks. I believe it's itworks.com. Put the link down below. Jamie, the guy who runs it, also runs the Loveland Makerspace in Loveland, Colorado. Lulzbot printers are made by a company called Aleph Objects that's also in Loveland, Colorado. A while back I talked about trying to get one of these sponsored from Aleph, and they felt the channel was too small, so they're lost. We'll just go ahead and buy one and we'll build with it and do what we can. The printer retails for $1,250 brand new. On ITWorks they run, I think it's $8.99 regular price. I actually bought this one when they were running a sale a week ago, and it was $699. Then I ordered a reel of its Chroma Strands ABS, which is also a Colorado product, so it's made here locally. And it's a high impact ABS plastic, so it should actually be even stronger than the ABS plastic we've been printing with up till now. One of the reasons I delayed on buying this is it takes a different filament size. It uses 3mm. The Solidoodle uses 1.75 millimeter. So I knew I'd had to buy new filament with it, and this stuff's not cheap. It's 40 bucks a roll. And especially when you're first getting one going, you go through a bit just dialing it in. Already found a problem in that I need a smaller nozzle to do the thin walls on the charger housings. So I ordered one of those over the weekend. It'll be here today, actually. Today's Tuesday when I'm recording the video. The beauty of buying local. Ordered this thing probably around 3 o'clock in the afternoon last Thursday. About 3 o'clock the next afternoon, the mailman dropped it off in front of my house. So awesome service. Had a good email conversation with Jamie, the owner. Ironing out some details on what was the best filament for me to use. I was looking at using some Innova 1800 or some NGen, and ultimately ended up settling for the ABS. I'll do a bit more of a review about the printer once I dial it in a little bit more. I'll say plug and play though. I mean, I plugged it in from the time it was dropped off in front of my house until I had it up and printing apart, maybe 1 hour, maybe. And I printed the little Rocktopus, which is the Lulzbot standard file. Super impressed with just the quickness of setup. I've always had a problem with parts lifting off of the build plate on the Solidoodle. I have the opposite problem on this. It has a PEI plate, and man, it's tough to get parts off of there. So I've been reading up on that this weekend. I'm gonna change some offsets and try to not get the parts adhere quite so well. I'm using rubbing alcohol to help break them off, but they're on there. So hopefully gonna get that nozzle, like I say, in the mail this afternoon and get it on. I've been sick again this weekend, so I have been pretty slow on progress. But I'm getting back out here, getting her going. Still hoping to have chargers back manufactured. I gotta say, the quality of these prints, man, they've come a long ways. I think I got the Solidoodle in 2011 or 12. And man, printers have come a long way since then. I'm hoping that once I get done with the upgrades on the Solidoodle, it'll be able to do as good a prints as the Lulzbot. But now I'm going to take my time. I'm going to make even more upgrades on that. A lot of them don't really take that much time. They take more, or don't take much money. They take more time and the ability to print some parts I wanted to be able to just print some parts to use on the Solidoodle, and once I tore it apart, I couldn't make parts anymore. I will say, somebody who watched the video about the upgrades I was doing on it made a comment about where I could actually buy some of the pieces I wanted to use, that I want to print on the Lulzbot. He sent that message probably 2 hours or so after I bought the Lulzbot. And that's okay. I've been eyeing this thing for months. So pulled the trigger, got it, and hopefully we'll get some prints out. And today's Tuesday. I'm hoping by Thursday to be making good prints. I'm not gonna lie, I've made prints on a lot of videos. I get distracted. I spent most of the day yesterday on the phone with Congressman Buck's office and directly on the line with Congressman Kaufman. I never thought the day would come that I'd say I had a conversation with my congressman today. I had 7 minutes of my congressman's time today, and I used yesterday, and I used every one of them. And meanwhile, things are melting down at the state level on a bill that would devastate the Medicaid program with copays. And I'm not talking $1 or $2, I can handle that. They're talking 20% of all my medical expenses, and 20% of my medical expenses is about $10,000 to $15,000 a year. So I don't know many people that can just afford to shill that out of pocket that are also going to qualify for Medicaid. So thankfully my girlfriend's a trooper and she does this for a living, and she's down meeting with the governor's office as I make this video. So we got people working hard on it, and we'll get her done. But that does distract sometimes from the work in the shop, and I apologize for that, but that's all important, I think, for a lot of people buying my products too. So I've been really lucky that a lot of you have been understanding. I've gotten emails from people like, hey, when are you going to be back in stock? Really want to order one. I understand you're a busy guy. I understand you're a one-man shop. So I've got to say, I really appreciate that to those of you who have been waiting for parts, those of you who bought multiple pieces from me. I really appreciate all the customers. I've been really, really lucky to have good customers, and not just people that yell and complain because something's a day late or not quite exactly what they thought it would be. Been really, really lucky to have really excellent customers. So thanks to all you, and I'm going to do my best to get parts out this week. But I'd rather wait a few more days or a couple of weeks even if I can't do parts right. If I'm not putting out good quality, if there's a chance that they are not as good as what I was selling, I'm not going to ship them. So if there's a delay, it's because we're dialing in the new 3D printer. I do think the new nozzle will actually dial in pretty quick, and I'll be putting out good parts within a couple hours of that nozzle coming in the mailbox. If there's an issue with that though, it will delay things until we iron out the details. But I'm not concerned. I feel very comfortable about the customer support from both the people at Aleph Objects from Lulzbot directly, as well as Jamie over at IT Works. If I have a problem with this machine, I am confident they will help me get it solved. Really nice people. Well, neither of them hooked me up. I didn't get a special deal. I got what the sale price was. It wasn't a special cripple discount or YouTube guy discount. It was a sale they were having. But I can't say enough about how great their customer relations have been. Both companies. And I actually met Jamie, and I'm going to close the video with this. I met Jamie at a maker fair in Denver last year, and I couldn't believe he had one of these Lulzbot minis. Actually, I think he had 3 of them there, printing parts in a big open atrium at this museum. Wind kind of gusting by as people open and close doors, and hundreds of people walking around, and the parts were printing perfectly. Meanwhile, I've got my Solidoodle, and I asked him, I said, how are you doing it? Like, on my Solidoodle, if somebody opens my door in the winter, I might as well just scrap the parts and start over on a 6-hour print. And he's like, oh, it's better filaments and better quality machines. They've come a long way since you bought that Solidoodle. And I thought, yeah, you have some kind of gimmick going here. No, this thing right now has no enclosure on it. Print ABS just fine. You can probably hear the air conditioning blowing in the background behind me, so it's not like there's no air blowing right across the we've opened and closed the door. Those things stick, no warping, no issues. So things have come a long ways on 3D printers. So it'll be interesting to see on the Solidoodle with the upgrades. One of the things I'm going to do is upgrade the build plate while I'm doing this to the PEI plate. And we'll see maybe we can get the Solidoodle print just as well. I am putting an enclosure on this. I ordered it the same day I ordered the 3D printer because I thought I would need it. But you guys have seen the shop. I run woodworking stuff in here on the CNC router. I run the mill, the lathe, the welders. There's a lot of dust and debris in here, so I don't want to wreck my 3D printer by leaving it all exposed. So I am throwing an enclosure on it. I'll actually probably do a video because I haven't seen anybody on YouTube doing a video about the enclosure I bought. So I'll do a quick video about putting that together and putting it on, and pros and cons and what I like about it and don't like about it. So with that, I'm going to close the video. We'll see you next week and hopefully be showing you off new chargers printed on the new printer, and maybe even a little bit about what we're upgrading on the Solid Doodle at that point. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.